we create variable labels in Stata? Now, a variable label is a short description of a variable, and we can apply it to both numeric and string variables. So we can use it to describe either a numeric variable or a string variable. Now, it helps us to search for relevant variables using the variable labels in the variable window. We'll look at this in a bit. Now, first, let's look at two ways to see variable labels. For that, obviously, we need to run a data set. So let's run this sysuse auto data set. So we have this data set. Now over here, like the first thing we talked about was that it allows us to search for variables using the variable label names. For example, we know the variable label for foreign is car origin, right? So if I just write car, so we can see that it would show me the variable label. So sometimes when you have a large data set with a lot of variables, you can use the description of the variable to search for it in the variable windows to get, provided that the variable does have a variable name. So now, so like we said, we can see the variable labels through the variable window. Like we can see all the variable labels. Another option is that we can use the describe command. So when you use the describe command, we can see that we see the exact same variable labels here. So that's one way to see variable labels, right? So we can see variable labels either using the describe command or through the variable window. Now, what's the syntax for assigning variable labels? So the syntax is we do label variable, a variable name, and then we write the variable label in double quotation marks. So let's apply to this. Let's create a new variable, price to wait, and we'll assign a variable label to this. It's always a good idea to assign a variable label whenever you create a new variable to provide a good description of it. We can see the syntax where we write label, we write variable, we write the variable name, which is price to wait, and then in double quotation marks, we'll write the variable label. So let's just assign this. So in this, we have created a variable label, and we can check over here. Price to wait now has a variable label price per pound. So now how do we delete a variable label? Now there are two ways to do it. We can write label, then we write variable. We can write variable or we can just write short var, either way is fine. Then we write the variable name. Then we can either just not write anything over here like we did over here. This will also delete the variable label. Or what we can do is we can put two empty double quotation marks. Instead of writing a variable label, if you just leave empty double quotation marks, that would work as well. Like for example, here we can see right now, price has a variable label which is price, right? So if I want to delete it, I'll use one over here. I'll write label, I'll write variable or just VR for short. And then I write the name of the variable price and we leave empty double quotation marks. And we can see we have deleted the variable label. Now we do not see a label over here. Another way obviously is like, let's see the other way that we also saw where you don't even need to put the double quotation marks. You can just leave it empty after variable. You can just not write anything after variable name. That would also delete it. So we'll delete the variable label for make. Again, we'll write label, we'll write variable or for short VR, and then we'll just write make. So this would also delete it. So you can do either way. And you can see the variable label for make has been deleted. So when you want to assign variable label, the syntax is label variable, and then you just write the name of the variable and in double quotation marks, whatever variable label you want to attach to it, help describe it. And keep in mind, we can assign variable labels to both string and numeric variables. Like over here, we had a variable label assigned to make, which is a string variable, and we had a variable label assigned to price, which is a numeric variable. And if you want to delete a variable label, we just write label variable variable name. Either don't write anything after this or just leave empty double quotation marks. Either way, it will delete the variable label.